In the beginning, the Word already existed. He was with God, and through him every single thing in all creation was made. The text presents a staggering premise: that the infinite architect of the universe physically stepped into our timeline and took on a human body. Claims of this magnitude are naturally met with skepticism. For a rational person to believe that a carpenter from Nazareth is actually the creator, they need to see evidence that overrides the known laws of reality. This is why the author organizes his account like a legal brief. He curates a specific portfolio of miracles or signs, each designed to serve as a verifiable exhibit of divine authority. Viewing the text this way changes your role as a reader. You are no longer watching an ancient drama unfold. You have been placed on a jury and asked to evaluate the case. The first tier of evidence establishes control over basic matter. At a wedding in Cana, Jesus bypasses the years required for and fermentation instantly, rearranging the molecular structure of water into wine. He then moves to biology at the pool of Siloam. He heals a man who has been blind since birth, demonstrating an ability to repair deep-seated genetic or congenital defects that nature could not fix. Jesus explicitly uses these physical acts to prove his identity. The restoration of sight becomes the evidentiary basis for his claim to be the light of the world. The ultimate exhibit occurs in Bethany. For days after his friend Lazarus has died, Jesus commands the decaying body to walk out of the grave, asserting total authority over the finality of death. From the reconfiguration of atoms in a jar to the biological restoration of a corpse, these signs cover the entire spectrum of the material world. This evidence creates a violent divide, while the marginalized follow him. The religious establishment sees him as a threat because he exposes their internal corruption, what he calls sin, which they would rather keep hidden. The tension breaks when Judas betrays him. Jesus is arrested and brought before the Roman governor, Pilate, to face a mock trial. Driven by the religious leaders' desire to eliminate him facing execution, Jesus tells Pilate that his kingdom is not of this world. He clarifies that his authority doesn't come from any earthly political system, but from the truth he came to testify to. The Roman governor orders his execution. He is crucified, and his body is placed in a tomb, sealed by a heavy stone. In that moment, the evidentiary case seemed to die with him. For his followers, the burial was the final word, seemingly proving that the light they followed was just as vulnerable to darkness as everyone else. Sunday morning provides the plot twist. The stone is rolled back, the tomb is empty, and the man who was dead and buried begins appearing in person to his disciples. A disciple named Thomas refuses to accept the news without empirical data. He demands to physically touch the nail scars before he will grant his belief to the group's testimony. Jesus meets this demand, offering his body for inspection. This physical verification prompts Thomas to issue the final verdict of the entire gospel: "My Lord, my God." This final sign retroactively validates every exhibit in the portfolio. If he has the power to return from death, it confirms that his previous authority over chemistry and biology was real. The author then addresses you directly. He breaks the historical narrative to explain exactly why he chose to put these specific events on paper. He states his thesis clearly. These signs were recorded so that you may believe Jesus is the Messiah, the one who brings the life of God back into a dying world. The text presents this death as a voluntary sacrifice. Jesus described himself as the Lamb of God, choosing to accept the judgment for the sin he exposed earlier, effectively paying the debt for human wrongs. The final requirement is not just mental agreement with the facts, but a total reliance on that payment to receive a perfect standing before God. The exhibits have been presented, and the penalty has been paid. The evidentiary case is closed, and you are the only one left to issue a verdict.